What is up, guys? And welcome to the Riley Time Sports Show. And in today's live stream episode, we're going to be talking about something amazing. The Los Angeles Lakers have made it to the NBA Finals. I'm absolutely excited. I'm absolutely livid. After 7 years of not making it to the playoffs, 10 years of us not making it to the finals, the Lakers have finally made another finals appearance. They are going to face the Miami Heat, and it is going to be absolutely amazing. And I have a lot to say about this. And yeah, now before I get into this, I would just like to say that even though I am a huge Lakers fan, as you can tell by my current channel icon, as well as just a lot of the gear that I have on my walls and whatnot, I am a huge Lakers fan, but I am still relatively new to the sport of basketball. What I mean by that is that I haven't really paid attention to the rest of basketball as a whole. So in this video, I won't really be discussing the Miami Heat as much because I don't know too much about the team. I'll admit that, and I don't want to really say something, talk like I know stuff, and taint my reputation, as a sports YouTuber and as a sports fan and as a Lakers fan. And I just want to talk about the Lakers. And I want to talk about my emotions going through the whole thing. And yeah, this video is not necessarily going to be an in-depth reaction similarly to like my Angels videos and my Niners videos. Rather, this is going to be more of like an emotional reaction, me reacting to it as just a Lakers fan. We've been through hard times. And even though this franchise is considerably one of the best franchises in sports history, it's always great to see them win some more. And so, yeah, without a doubt, let's just get right into it. So, where do I start with exactly? Where do I start with at all? I would like to say for number one, I'm very excited about the Lakers making it to the finals. It's funny because this is my second team that made a final / championship round appearance. The Niners did it earlier this season in February during the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they lost that game, and now my Lakers are in the NBA Finals, facing with the chance to get their 17th championship in NBA history, which will tie them with the Boston Celtics. I am very excited if that happens. I know we are walking in as champion finals favorites. We were favorites to make it to the finals. We are favorites to win the finals. And I am in good hope that the Lakers will win this round. But I'm still just keeping it down to earth, and I don't really want to talk big, and I don't really want to talk too much in a sense because in the sport of basketball, basketball, in any sports in general, anything could really happen. As we saw with the Clippers in the Denver Nuggets, no one saw that the Denver Nuggets, everyone saw that there was going to be a Clippers-Lakers Western Conference final, and the Lakers and whoever was going to win was going to face the East, and the Bucks were favorite to win the East as well. But as we all know, the Clippers and Bucks were both eliminated. The Bucks were eliminated early by the Heat, and the Clippers were eliminated by the Nuggets. So, this is really crazy stuff, and it's honestly really surprising, and I honestly didn't expect this. So I just want to talk about, the series as a whole, the season as a whole, and stuff like that. So I'm going to start off with the season as a whole. This was a relatively great season for the Lakers, and I'm honestly it's really good. As we all know, during after 2013, after they were the 7th seed and they got eliminated, they haven't been doing that great. 2014, 15, 16, 17, and 18, they missed. In those seasons, they missed the playoffs. 2019 as well. So they have been missing the playoffs. This was a 7-year playoff drought. Eventually ended this season. And there was so much controversy going around the Lakers ownership and the Lakers, this and that. As we all know, the legendary Dr. Buss of the owner of the Lakers, who is legendary. He was known to lead this team and get the right pieces for us to win championships, leading to our success within Lakers, in the history of the NBA. He passed away, and it passed on to his son, and as we all know, after his son took ownership, the Lakers were run down to the ground. Eventually, Jim Buss's sister, Jeannie Buss, took ownership, and it was still relatively, low until this year, where they made the right acquisitions and they were able to lead them to the playoffs. And hang on a second. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that. I was unfortunately, distracted. But anyway, so as I was saying, Genie Bus took ownership, and there was a lot of changes within the front office and whatnot. Now, like I'll admit, I wasn't really super invested until a few years ago, back when we had Magic Johnson as the GM, and I love Magic Johnson as a player. But running the franchise, he just wasn't great. He made a lot of mistakes. Did a lot of bad things. He stepped down last season. Stepped down last season, and there was whole controversies about how the Lakers organization is absolute, running to hell and whatnot, and issues with Rob Pelinka, who is the current GM for the Lakers. But as we all know, this all got together. Everything got fine, and yeah. And one of the biggest things that happened over the offseason prior to this season was, in fact, the trading for Anthony Davis, who is a superstar on the New Orleans Pelicans. He had some problems with the Pelicans. They weren't, I don't know too much in particular. I'll admit I don't know everything about it, but, they weren't really in a sense, there was some issues with him and the team. So he requested a trade, and eventually the Lakers traded 3 first-round picks, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram in exchange for Anthony Davis. There was also some trading within the Washington Wizards. I know we gave up one of our first-round picks named Mo Wagner, and I believe Isaac Bonga as well. I don't remember all of the details in particular in my head. It was last year. But that's basically what happened with the Lakers. And it was really surprising. I actually remember I was attending a baseball game at the time. I went to San Francisco and I was watching a Giants game. I was in the area and I said, why not? And while I was at a Giants game, I still remember the trade going off, and I literally took my eyes off the game just to take, it was crazy. One of the most interesting days, in my life. It was really, really cool. That whole experience, and that whole, just learning that Anthony Davis, one of my favorite, not one of my favorite players, but, one of those, now he's one of my favorite players on the Lakers right now. But, back then, I did like him a lot, but, him being one of the best players in the NBA, coming to the Lakers, joining the GOAT of, LeBron James, like the probably right now the best player, with the best career right now in the NBA, LeBron James. Really, really surprising. And, after that, there was the whole things with Kawhi Leonard and free agency. I still remember that, those reports by that one, by Jeannie Buss's niece, apparently is not niece, nephew, who claimed that the Kawhi Leonard was signing with the Lakers, but all that was false. As we all know, all those long nights, refreshing my phone, refreshing Twitter, refreshing the internet, refreshing Instagram, refreshing everything, refreshing ESPN, refreshing the Google page of Kawhi Leonard, that all of that stuff with where is he gonna go, where is he gonna land, and he eventually lands with the Los Angeles Clippers, and that was the biggest shock. I did not expect it personally. I know some people that did expect it. They knew it was going to happen. They just knew, judging how Kawhi Leonard was, that he was going to sign with the Clippers instead of the Lakers or the Raptors. I found it surprising personally that he left Toronto for the Clippers. But then again, Kawhi Leonard is an LA native, so this wasn't a completely surprising move. And yes, so Kawhi Leonard, they also acquired Paul George because of the Kawhi Leonard trade. So the Clippers, they gave up a lot to build this current team that they had, and thus the Battle of LA was born. Anthony Davis and LeBron James versus Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. One of the most hyped matchups of the NBA season, and it actually split. It was not as no one. It was the first 2 games were won by the Clippers, and then the second 2 games were won by the Lakers. And yeah, just really it was a really crazy, season. It was a really crazy, experience and situation. And yeah, I was honestly very, a lot of stuff happened this season. So I just want to get into depth about a lot of stuff like that, and, how I feel about it. And like I said, the season was really interesting. LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant in, being the third all-time scorer. And so, that's another feat. LeBron just building his resume as the greatest player in the in the NBA. LeBron's just constantly building on that. And really, it's honestly super, it's great to see that he's doing so much in a Lakers uniform. I know that last year, so many people were like hating and trashing on LeBron because he missed the playoffs with the Lakers. And it was really, honestly, super disappointing as a Lakers fan that, he missed the playoffs with us. We expected that things are going to turn around, but, his injury as well as the whole Anthony Davis trade talks from last year, that really messed up the Lakers' chemistry, and there was a lot of distrust within the Lakers organization, and within not in the in the Lakers organization, but also in the Lakers core. When you think about it, when you hear that I might get traded or not, it really messed them up, and as a result, there was a lack of chemistry in the Lakers, in a sense, in the Lakers, like the core and in the locker room, and luckily, however, the trade got pulled through and everything came to peace. Brandon Ingram is now killing it with the Pelicans, as he should. I wish the best for him in his career. Lonzo Ball, I hear, is also, I haven't been paying attention to Lonzo Ball as much. I know that he wasn't great with the Lakers, but I heard that he was getting better with the Pelicans, and they're also have Zion. So, I have a ton of respect for the Pelicans, locker room and their organization, because of the fact that they have a lot of former Lakers like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, as well as having Zion Williamson, who, one of the most hyped up players in the draft this season. And yeah, and all of that stuff happened. We missed the playoffs this year. We trade for Anthony Davis, and we're finally that playoff team again. Really, it's honestly really great to see this stuff. It's really great to see the Lakers doing so well in the playoffs. Now, again, I believe if I'm not mistaken, we are leading the Heat in regular season games this year, but that does not mean that we will beat the Heat by any means. I just feel like a lot of fans are gonna get cocky, we instantly got this. But you have to realize that basketball is a sport that you could predict, and the thing is that I'm still very, I wouldn't say that my basketball IQ is very large right now. I say my basketball IQ is still pretty low, and I'm trying to learn more and gain more knowledge on the sport. So I won't go around and I'm gonna say the Lakers are easily gonna win this. However, if you see how they've been bulldozing through, really, really, there is a high chance that we will take the trophy home this season and back to Los Angeles, number 17. In franchise history. Really, I really hope that this happens. Especially after the incident regarding Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was personally one of my favorite players of all time. He was one of my, let me see. Yeah, he was one of my favorite players of all time. He was he's probably my favorite athlete of all time, as well as, if you see my current profile picture right now, I don't know if it's going to change in the future or not. Kobe Bryant was, a hero and a legend of mine. And it was so sad to see him go like that. And I honestly, it really messed me up mentally, just seeing him gone. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. And I have friends who took it a lot harder. It sucked. When you see a dude that, influences the way how not even just influence, not even just, brings you joy and happiness when you watch basketball, even through bad years, he was playing well. He fought hard all the time, but not just that, but his mentality that he brought, his wisdom, it sucks to see a man like that go. It really is impossible, but it really teaches us a lesson about life, about how, eventually all life comes to an end. And, that's just stuff that happens. And really, but, it's still, it doesn't matter, because it still really hurt it really sucked to see. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I wish the Lakers win it this season. I really hope that we win it for Kobe this year. I really hope that we honor his legacy. And I really hope that we honor him as a player. And he is always going to be my favorite basketball player of all time. As much as I love Lakers legends like LeBron, LeBron, would you consider him a Lakers legend? Some may, some may not. But, that's LeBron as a Lakers legend is a debatable status. But regardless, LeBron is a legend without a doubt who wore Lakers uniform. So LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Uh, you know, uh, I can't think of all the names on the top of my head right now, but Elgin Baylor, George Mikan, even that was an old player that not many people remember. Jerry West, and going on. I don't have all the names on the top of my head right now. Even some fan favorites like Paul Gasol and whatnot. They all you all have to appreciate those guys as Lakers, but none of them really will be the same to me as LeBron, not Kobe Bryant, because Kobe, just influenced the way how I am as a human being and how I take life as well. So I really hope that we win this game for him. That's some mentality that that a lot of Lakers fans tried to approach when we made it to the finals. Kobe Bryant had that job's not finished mentality. Because if you notice, a lot of people, when they make it to the final, making it to the championship is a big feat. But Kobe Bryant would just sit there and say, it's not over till we win it all. That's exactly what he would do. He would go to the finals and he would win it. He has 5 rings, 5 for 2 overall. And that's something that we as Lakers fans, we as Lakers fans in a sense, that is something that we really have to uh, we have to realize that the job's not over yet. We still need to win 4 more games. We're 4 games away from 4 games away to honor Kobe and to bring number 17 to Los Angeles. But still, I'm going to still be, regardless of that, I'm still going to be happy that we at least made it to the finals. But I still feel like this, while I'm happy that we made it to the finals, I still feel like we should win, we should push and we should finish the job, get that championship to Los Angeles, and let's win it for Kobe. And yeah, so that all that aside, just some other thoughts. Really, I guess like I said, there's really not much other than that. Just this is my whole reaction. It's been really tough. In Los Angeles for a while. After years of missing the playoffs. After years of failure, after years of being let down, we finally make it to the playoffs again this year after losing the man that made that a man that inspired a city. We lost that man, and we're going to honor him. We're going to do our best to honor him, and by winning this championship for Kobe. I hope this goes through. And honestly, I know Kobe's watching us up there. I know he's watching us up there. And Kobe, if he happens to hear me right now, I just like to say, Kobe, I really, really am sad that you're gone, and I really wish that you could see how you changed my life. I wish you could see how you changed my friend's life. I wish you could, just see how you changed everyone's life. You're more than an athlete to us. You're a hero and you're a role model. And really, you did everything that we could ask for. We always appreciate you. Job's not finished though. LeBron, let's do it. I am rooting for LeBron and AD to win the championship for the Lakers this season. Let's do this. And yeah, and I feel like that's another point that I want to bring up as well, is that a lot of Lakers fans, or quote unquote Lakers fans, believe that you in order to be a true Lakers and Kobe fan, you have to disrespect LeBron's tenure as a Laker. And honestly, I used to be, I always respected LeBron as a Laker. I always respected his work here, with us, without a doubt. But he is, but when I always, at the end of the day, I always cheered for Kobe over him. Kobe versus LeBron was sort of a real thing, especially with Lakers fans. We all, most Lakers fans dislike LeBron because, Kobe versus LeBron. But LeBron is now a Laker, and I feel like it is our duty as Lakers fans to root for him. If you're a true Lakers fan, you will root for LeBron no matter what. If you're, because you want what, Kobe wanted the Lakers to win. He stayed his entire career with the Lakers, meaning he wanted the Lakers to win. And that's exactly what he did. Kobe didn't go on social media talking smack every time LeBron failed. No, he physically congratulated LeBron when he passed him on the all-time scoring list. He was there with his daughter in the front row seats watching LeBron play. He would hug LeBron out and stuff like that. LeBron and, in that sense, LeBron and Kobe were they were tight. And they knew for a fact that LeBron knew that he was passing the torch. He was, Kobe, like Kobe to LeBron. Kobe passed the torch to LeBron to win it for LA. And really, that's something that you have to realize. And when you disrespect LeBron, I feel like you're also disrespecting Kobe in a sense, because you're disrespecting the friendship that they had, and you're disrespecting the fact that Kobe loved LeBron and Kobe respected LeBron, and really you're disrespecting that. And I feel like as a Lakers fan, like I said, as soon as LeBron signed that paper, I dropped all hatred I had for LeBron, all negative thoughts. I threw him immediately down the gutter, as you should have. As a Lakers fan, you should have done that. I don't care what you feel about LeBron. You had to drop it. If you are a true Lakers fan, you will support and respect, a Laker and his journey to win championships. Because at the end of the day, we all love our players. We love our players, but it's the team that comes first for me, and it's the team that comes first for the Lakers. And yeah, so I genuinely I genuinely am cheering for LeBron this season. I'm cheering for AD, and I hope both of them will do. I hope both of them will bring number 17 to Los Angeles and will win it for us. And yeah, so that basically ends my whole reaction stream. I don't think I'm gonna do post-game streams for the Lakers, really, again, because I don't have such a big basketball IQ, and I won't really understand a lot of things, but I will be watching them. So yeah, please, stay tuned. However the final ends, if we lose, I probably will be hesitant to make a video, won't lie. But I will still try to make a video, and if we win, we'll expect a video about that soon. Yeah, let's thank you very much for tuning in. Let's go Lakers, Laker Nation. Let's win this for Kobe. Let's bring number 17 to Los Angeles, and I will see you guys later.